Hello and welcome to class. So today we're going to focus on the posterior chain and shoulders. We'll do a number of exercises to strengthen and open the back line of the body, including a lot of hamstring mobility, hip mobility, and shoulder mobility. Let's begin in a comfortable seated position. You can take a cross-legged seat if that's comfortable for you, or you may also sit on your heels. If that's a little too intense for your ankles, then I would recommend rolling up the back end of your mat, maybe about halfway, maybe a little more, depending on the thickness of your mat. And then sitting back down in a kneeling position with the ankles resting on top of the mat. That way it's a little less intense when you sit back down on your heels. Rest your palms on your thighs, sit up tall, and gently close your eyes. Keep the front of your chest open by rolling your shoulders back and down. And start to notice your breath, observing where it arrives in your body, perhaps just the chest. Perhaps it arrives all the way into the rib cage region of the body, the midsection. Or perhaps it arrives all the way into the belly. Begin to deepen your breath so it arrives into your belly. And as you exhale, draw the navel up and into your spine like you're hollowing the belly, suctioning it, activating these low, deep muscles in your core. Continue breathing this way, slow and deep, observing this movement in your belly. And then lower your chin to your chest and roll your head over to the right. With an inhale, you arrive all the way. Exhale, chin back down towards your chest, and then inhale, head over to the left. Exhale, chin back down to your chest, and continue starting to find your own rhythm. Move slow and start to observe the muscles along the back of your neck and along the back of your shoulders, getting into the trapezius muscles. All right, the next time your head is over on the right, bring your hand to the back of your head and real gently guide your head further over to the right and slightly down. With your left hand, grab a hold of your knee and start to round your spine, stretching your upper back. So we're getting into the trapezius muscles along the upper back and in between the shoulder blades, possibly giving the rhomboids a nice little stretch. Release, and we'll do the other side. Left hand to the back of your head. Head leans to the left. As you start to guide your chin down into your chest, with your right hand, grab a hold of your right knee and start to round your upper back, almost like you're trying to puff it up and lift it to the ceiling. Good. Slowly release. And let's come into a tabletop position. Unroll your mat if you have to. And then stack your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Mobilizing the spine now. Drop your belly, pull your chest forward and look forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, push the ground away, lift the upper back, spread the shoulder blades. Good, continue. Inhale, drop the belly, open your chest. Exhale, press the ground away, lift the upper back. Start to move at your own pace, finding your own rhythm. Feel free to close your eyes here as you tune into what's happening along your spinal column. Start to imagine your spinal column is a wave, possibly one vertebra moving at a time. Nice. Good. Then come back into a neutral tabletop position and walk your hands forward. Keep your hips stacked above your knees. But start to lower your forehead to the ground. If it doesn't make it all the way to the ground, not a problem. Now engage your core and draw the low ribs up and in towards your spine, almost like you're energetically lifting your upper back to the ceiling, but you're actively pressing your hands very strongly into the ground. As you do that, you should start to feel the core burn. Now, if your shoulders are uncomfortable or you feel any kind of pinchy pain, then you can adjust the positioning of your hands by either spreading them further apart from each other or bringing them closer in to one another. This might vary person to person, so find the positioning that feels best in your body. We're just here for a few moments longer. Try to deepen your breath while you're here. All right, gently lower your elbows down and then roll yourself forward into Sphinx pose. So lower your hips to the ground and stack your shoulders over your hips. Untuck your toes, get nice and long through the front of your body. So it's another back bend here. This time we're focusing on the thoracic spine more. So that's the mid-upper back. Energetically draw your elbows back towards your hip bones. So it's almost like you're trying to pull your chest forward between your upper arms. Look forward. Maybe close your eyes. And now, taking it a step further than our previous class, we'll start to transition into seal pose. Now you'll do that by pressing your palms firmly into the ground and then working to straighten your arms. Your elbows will start lifting off the ground. So this here is seal pose. You want to energetically drag your hands back towards your hip bone so that you can really target your upper back here, not your low back. If it's too intense for your low back, you can walk your hands forward. Or if you want more intensity, walk your hands back towards your hips. If it doesn't feel nice in your low back at all, feel free to lower back down to your elbows and take the rest of the pose in Sphinx. Otherwise, stay in seal. Good. And then release. Lower the elbows down, let them slide out to the sides, and then lower your head down to your hands. Wiggle your hips a little side to side here just to release your low back, bringing a little bit of length back into the lumbar spine. Then slide the palms under your shoulders and extend your right arm directly out to the right. Then go ahead and stack your left hip on top of your right. You may keep your feet stacked or staggered by stepping the left foot slightly behind your right. For some of us, this will feel just a little more stable. So you should be feeling a stretch through your pectorals and rotator cuff. This is a really nice chest and shoulder opener. It's a pose that is a fantastic way to help improve your posture if you notice that you tend to slouch a lot. And slowly make your way back down onto your belly, and we'll take the other side. Extend your left arm directly out to the left. Then stack your right hip on top of your left. Feet may stay stacked or staggered. Your right hand is there for support to push you as deep as you want to go in this pose. And if you feel ready to deepen this stretch, then think about inching your left hand higher up towards the top of your mat. If you're kind of at your max and you need to back out a little bit, then inch your left hand down towards your feet, and that'll ease the sensation. Relax your neck and relax the muscles in your face. Try to let gravity do most of the work in this pose. Nice. Slowly make your way back down onto your belly. And let's reset the low back. Bring your hands together, just like we did before, elbows wide. Lower your forehead on your hands and wiggle the hips a little side to side. Now a little more active mobility in the shoulders. Extend your arms directly overhead, like we did last class, but this time incorporating the legs. Lift your arms and lift your chest. Rotate your palms so they face one another. Then lift your legs off the ground. Keep them nice and straight. Good. And release. Hands out to the sides. Once again, palms face forward. Lift your arms, your chest, and your legs. Hold. And release. Hands reach back. Palms flip away to face away from you. And lift the arms, chest, and legs. Squeeze the shoulder blades together here. And release. Really nice. Same thing, traveling back up, hands still reaching back. Lift your arms, chest, and legs. Palms face away from you. Try to keep your legs straight. And release. Reach your arms out to the sides. Palms face forward. Lift your arms, chest, and legs. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And lower down. Really nice. Last one. Reach your arms forward just like how we started. Lift your arms, lift your legs. Palms face one another and hold for 3, 2, 1, and release. Nice job. Slide your palms in under your shoulders, press up into tabletop, and then take wide-legged child's pose. You can probably hear my dog drinking water. Now, if that's too intense for your ankles, do the same thing we did at the beginning of class by rolling up your mat and then placing your ankles on top of the rolled up mat. It'll bring a little bit of ease there. Now, I know this might be a little intense for the knees and hips, but this is a really great way to decompress your low back. So we won't be staying here too long. Just bear with me as long as you can. All right, slowly walk your hands back in, unroll your mat if it's rolled, and let's move into our first down dog of this class. Place your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes under. With a strong breath in, lift your knees and send your hips up and back. Now here's the key. Keep your knees very, very bent so that you can lengthen the upper half of your body. 5 times we're going to practice straightening the legs as much as we can. When you're ready, try your best to straighten your legs. Press your heels into the ground and relax. Let's do it again. Straighten your legs and relax. Straighten your legs and relax. Straighten and relax. Nice. One more. Straighten your legs. Press your heels into the ground and relax. Bend your knees. From here, look forward and step your right foot in between your hands. If you only make it halfway up your mat, grab a hold of your ankle and help guide your right foot further forward. Lower your left knee down, untuck your toes, and start to walk back into half splits. So the goal here is to straighten your right leg. Flex your toes a lot. Good. Then release. Same thing like we did in down dog. Just practice straightening and then relaxing 5 times on your own. Go as far as you can. If your knee doesn't straighten out all the way, that's really not a problem at all. Just go as far as you can. Okay, after your 5th time, stay in that straightened out position. Keep your toes flexed. Don't point the toes. Good. And if your right knee is still a little bent, that's very much okay. Now, I like to lift on my fingertips here. And every time you inhale, think about pulling your chest forward. Every time you exhale, think about folding a little deeper into this position. So about 5 breaths in total here. Really focus on that lengthening of the spine. So what we're doing by this lengthening of the spine and energetically pulling the chest forward is helping bring an anterior tilt into our pelvis, which is exactly what we need in order to target your hamstrings. All right, come back into low lunge. 30-second hold here. Sink your hip down towards the ground to open up your left hip flexors. You're more than welcome to stay on your fingertips. And think about pressing the top of your left foot firmly into the ground to really help extend your left hip. We're just here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place your hands down and make your way back into downward facing dog. Keep your knees bent in down dog. Let's do the other side. Step your left foot in between your hands. As before, you're welcome to grab a hold of your left ankle and help guide it further forward. Tap your right knee down, untuck your toes. Come onto your fingertips and walk back into half splits. So you're trying to stack your hips over your right knee. Flex your toes, try straightening your leg, and bend. 5 times, move at your own pace, pulsing in and out of that half splits. Just like we did on the first side. After the 5th one, hold it in that straight-legged position. All right, once you've completed 5, keep your toes flexed. Every time you inhale, think about pulling your chest forward. Every time you exhale, think about folding slightly deeper into this pose. If your left leg never straightens completely, don't worry at all. As long as you're feeling a stretch on the back of your leg, then you're doing it right. Just about 2 more breaths here. You've got this. All right, slowly come forward back into low lunge. Untuck your right toes. Firmly press the top of your right foot into the ground, almost like you're energetically trying to lift your right knee off of the ground. And that's going to really help you get the front of your right hip opening up. Now, of course, you're welcome to stay on your fingertips or possibly lower the flat of your palms to the ground, whatever works in your body. We're just looking for a stretch in your hips. Take another deep breath in and a deep breath out. Start to make your way back into downward facing dog. Great work so far. From this down dog, start to walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into a standing forward fold. Taking ragdoll variation, grab opposite elbows and let your torso sway a little side to side. Keep your knees bent. Then relax your hands to the ground and vertebra by vertebra, roll up to standing. Take your time here, giving your upper back a nice stretch. When you make it to the top, roll your shoulders back and down. Stand up nice and tall. Taking a wide-legged stance, step your feet wide and bring your outer edges of your feet parallel to each other. Place your hands at your hips and keep your chest open. We want to keep a neutral, long spine here. Fold halfway into a wide-legged fold, bringing your spine parallel to the ground, then lift back up. Let's do that 2 more times. Fold halfway, hinging from your hips. Keep your chest lifted. Don't round your spine. And lift back up. Last one. This time we'll stay. Fold halfway. With your hands at your hips, think about energetically pushing your hips back and reaching the crown of your head forward. This time taking it 1 step further than last class, reach your hands for your ankles. If that's too far away, you can always stay with your hands at your hips. If it's accessible, however, grab a hold of your shins or ankles, then bending at your elbows, you'll use the strength of your arms to gently guide your torso further into this fold, like you're energetically reaching your torso in between your thighs and the crown of your head towards the ground. So this is our progression. As I said, if it's too much, you can always come back to that first position with your hands at your hips. Either one of those variations will be a fantastic way to stretch your hamstrings, strengthen and stretch your low back. Hold here for another deep breath in and a deep breath out. Bring your hands back to your hips and lift up to standing. Coming into pyramid pose. Shift your left toes so that they point inwards at a 45 and your right toes point towards the top of your mat. Square your hips to the top of the mat. Hands at the hips and start to lean forward, leading with your chest. Now the progression this time around, if you're ready to take it further, then start walking your hands down to your shin bones or possibly down to your ankles. Now you want to keep your flat back as best as you can here. So you don't want to round your spine too much, but rather you want to focus on pulling your chest forward, continuing to work on lengthening your spine. Good. And then slowly coming out, bring your hands back to your hips and lift up. Other side, pivot your right toes so they point inwards at a 45. Left toes point to the back of your mat. Square your hips to the back of your mat. And last time, fold over your left leg, leading with your chest. Of course, you can always stay in this first progression with your hands at your hips. If you would like to go further, hands come to your shin bone or ankle. Just try to keep your hands below your knee here. And if you're not able to do that, then keep your hands at your hips. Every time you inhale, think about energetically pulling your chest forward. And every time you exhale, see if you can hinge a little further into this fold, hinging from your hips, not your low back. Good, a few more cycles of breath here. Nice. Hands come back to your hips. Lift back up. And then we'll turn to face the top of your mat. Step forward to the top of the mat. And we'll go ahead and reset with an inhale. Reach your arms out and up. Find a little bit of a back bend here. Stretch the front of the body. And as you exhale, forward fold. Step right back into down dog. Now begin to straighten your legs as much as you can and relax. 4 more times. Straighten your legs as much as you can and relax. Straighten and relax. Straighten and relax. Last one, straighten. This time hold a little longer. Good. And release. Lower your knees all the way to the ground this time. Coming into a seat, swing your legs forward out in front of you. Bend at your knees, place your feet hips width distance apart, and plant your hands down behind you. Roll your shoulders back and down, then lift your hips for reverse tabletop. Focus on opening up the front of your chest, stretching your shoulders, and strengthening the back of your body. Keep your tailbone tucked under and hold for the next 3, 2, 1, and slowly release your butt back down. Now this time, lower down to your back, reaching your hands forward. Use your core as brakes. And we'll take 2 rounds of bridge pose here to further strengthen the back of the body. Walk your feet closer into your butt. Make sure you can touch your heels with your fingertips. With an inhale, lift your hips off the ground. Hold it as you exhale, tuck your tailbone under. Ground into your left foot and start to lift your right foot off the ground. If you can, straighten your leg. Extend your foot up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, keep your hips lifted high. And a deep breath out, bend your right knee, lower your foot back down. Vertebra by vertebra, lower yourself back to the ground. All right, and other side. With a strong inhale, lift up once again into bridge pose. Tuck the tailbone under, draw the shoulder blades closer together. Ground into your right foot and begin to lift your left foot off the ground. In time, work on straightening your left leg, extending the sole of your foot up to the ceiling. Stay strong through the back of your right leg and hold for another 3, 2, 1, and bend your left foot, tap your foot back down. Nice job. Vertebra by vertebra, lower yourself back down. Draw your right knee into your chest and interlace your fingers at the back of your right thigh. Extend your left leg long. From here, straighten your arms and as best as you can, start to straighten out your right leg. Flex your toes. Activate your quadriceps a lot. Good. Then relax. Let's do that 4 more times. Straighten it out and relax. Nice. Straighten as much as you can and relax. Good. Straighten it out and relax. Last one. This time we'll stay. Straighten your right leg and hold it here. Activate your quadriceps. Flex your toes. Keep your arms straight and your shoulders resting on the ground. Little by little, you can try to walk your hands higher up your right leg. But if you're not ready to do that today, that's totally fine. If your right knee is really bent, that's also okay. We just want to really introduce length into the hamstrings. So wherever you're at today is totally fine. Leg bent, hands behind your thigh, or hands all the way up to your ankle with a straight leg. Doesn't matter. Just meet yourself where you're at and make sure you feel a deep stretch along the back of your right leg. Nice. Then rebend your right leg. And we'll take a twist. Cross your right knee over your body and extend your right arm directly out to the right. Look over to your right hand. And let's take a really relaxing variation of this pose. So let all the tension just dissipate from your body and allow gravity to do most of the work here. You can even let go of your breath a little bit, coming to a natural rhythm. Just a few more moments here. Slowly make your way onto your back and hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself a gentle rock side to side, massaging your low back. And then we'll take the other side. Extend your right leg long, interlace your hands along the back of your left thigh. Straighten your left leg, straighten your arms, and relax. Activate your quadriceps, straighten your leg, flex your toes, and relax. Straighten it out as much as you can, and relax. Straighten it out, turn on those quads, and release. Last one, this time we're staying. Straighten it out and hold. Keep those toes ultra flexed and see if you can walk your hands higher up your leg. If that requires you to bend your knee a little bit, that's okay. You can experiment how that feels in your body. But as best as you can, work your left leg in the direction of being straight. Keep your shoulders on the ground here. So the benefit of doing these hamstring stretches while lying on our backs is that we are sure that we're maintaining a neutral spine, right? In forward folds, when we're standing or seated, it's really easy to round the spine and slouch forward. But then all that happens is that we stretch the low back more than we do the hamstrings. So this is a really great way to practice. Then release and move into your twist. Cross your left knee, over your body and extend your left arm out to the left. Look over to your left hand and close your eyes. Take this time to relax your body, come to a natural rhythm of breath, and enjoy this rest. You've earned it. You've worked really hard today, and your body deserves some rest. Good. And unravel from your twist. Draw both knees back into your chest and give yourself a gentle rock side to side. Last time. And go ahead and extend your legs long and release your arms to either side of you with the palms facing up. Last exercise before our final pose. Tense every single muscle in your body. Everything. Tense. And hold it like this for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it go. Our final relaxation in Shavasana. Let go of tension in the face. Let go of tension in the shoulders, the arms, the chest, and the upper back. Let go of tension in the belly, the core, the low back, the glutes, the hips, the thighs, the knees, the calves. Let go of tension in the ankles and all the way down to the soles of the feet. Everything in your body, let's go. Slowly invite your awareness back into your body. And when you're ready, invite some gentle movement back into the hands and the feet. And you might roll out your wrists. You might roll out your ankles. You might rock your head a little side to side. Take any movements you need here to waken up. Then take a deep breath in, stretch your arms overhead, point your toes, full body stretch. And a deep breath out to let it go. Roll over to the side, coming into fetal pose just for a moment to neutralize your spine. And then keeping your eyes closed, press up into a comfortable seated position. Rest your hands on your thighs, sit up tall. Just take a moment to observe how your body feels now at the very end of class. We've done quite a bit of work today, opening up the shoulders, helping to improve our posture. We've done quite a bit of work to open up the hips, open up the hamstrings. Take this time to thank yourself for showing up to your mat and practicing some yoga today. You've done an amazing job at incorporating a muscle recovery routine into your training regimen. And this is going to be something that will help you both on and off the court. I look forward to seeing you soon, and I wish you a great rest to your day.